Hello YouTube, my name is Janitor. If you haven't seen it already, we got the new preview for next week's special, which is featuring Silent meeting Clement and Bonnie for the first time, and we just got new previews for the first few episodes of the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. And so with all this in mind, this also essentially confirms that Serena will return at least at some point later on in the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, which will be the main focus of this video, along with the new previews that we just got. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, we got the Legend of XYZ special that just aired. Let me know what you thought of it. Link will be in the comment section down below. I thought it was pretty awesome overall. We got to see two brand new interesting characters. I think Olympia's ancestor was one of the new characters that we got to see as well. Kind of in this ancient Roman setting and ancient Greek setting, kind of like we had Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde. That was pretty cool. And the fact that at the end we kind of had this character very reminiscent to Bonnie, which a lot of people were kind of pointing out. Not only in terms of like her hair design and such, but the fact that she had a genetic was pretty interesting, and I'm curious if any connection might be made, at least in terms of whether or not it might be an ancestor or something like that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think of it. Link will be in the comment section down below. Moving on to the preview itself, starting off with the Silent preview, kind of interesting. We actually got in like this fishing area. Looks like they're going to be interacting. I believe the actual title for the special is The Ultimate Duo, Clement and Silent. And so we get to see later on in the preview is kind of Bonnie being separated by Clement and Silent, kind of like in this train area. At least I've seen some kind of episode we've had in the past during Best Wishes, but the fact that we also get to see Pansage is pretty awesome, and just overall kind of like these two working together, I think that's going to be pretty cool. We also got a news summary, I think yesterday or the day before, but reading here it says, quote, Pokemon connoisseur Silent appears. He works with Clement to save Bonnie after she has boarded a runaway subway train. Also, the new series has finally started. We have early info, and of course that's also referring to the new previews that we just got. It also goes on to say, quote, in a fishing tournament in Lumio City, Clement and Bonnie meet with Pokemon connoisseur Silent. Silent tells them that they like to go to the Prism Tower, so Clement and Bonnie decide to guide them, but when Silent requests that they travel via the subway, an accident occurs. A driverless subway train starts moving while Bonnie is on board. What will Clement and Silent do? So I think it's awesome that we get to see Silent again overall, as we've seen in the past, and as I mentioned before, usually we get to see previous companions return a little bit in the future sagas. If you remember during, I think it was the Advanced Generation, we got to see Misty return for I believe 1 or 2 episodes. We had May return Diamond and Pearl for a few episodes. Dawn actually returned for a good amount of episodes. I think it was like 4 or 5. During the Best Wishes saga. And then for XY, we actually had a special devoted to Iris. I think it aired as a 1-hour special along with Pokemon XY episode 21. That's according to the wiki page. And then also, as we remember before, we also had Brock as one of the characters who returned during the Best Wishes saga. So at least at this point, it looks like Silent will be the one interacting with the new character. Of course, that is Clement and Bonnie. And so with Serena potentially returning later on in the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, at least from what we've seen in the past, it looks like we could expect her to see at least at some point maybe in the middle or at least near the end, because as you get to see here, Silent is returning in one of the specials, and the most recent example previously was the one with Brock from during Diamond and Pearl. He returned during the Best Wishes saga, where I believe it was a special where Silent and Brock were both trying to like help Nurse Joy, and also the fact that there was like this rampaging Gyarados and such. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, but at least in terms of Serena's return later on in the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, that is likely to happen at least some point in the middle, or at least later on near the end, as we see with this special here. Sorry if you hear any noise in the background, but let me know what you thought of all this, especially for the special itself. That'll be airing next week, November 10th, and then of course Pokemon Sun and Moon anime episodes 1 and 2. That'll be airing on November 17th. Once again, that's my birthday, so I'm especially excited for that. And once again, we got the new previews, just showcasing here through the main. I'm probably gonna make a video devoted to Ash's Alola team in the near future. I'm planning to do one special with like another YouTuber, so hopefully that'll come out over the next couple of weeks. I'll let you know once we get it done. But we get to see Litten, who I'm pretty sure is probably going to be one of the main starters for Ash, because he seems to be interacting almost reminiscent to Froakie, where like he was kind of observant of Ash and kind of seeing what kind of a trainer he is before he eventually like made his mind. So it'll be interesting to see how they interact, because one of the more recent previews we got is where like Ash is running with Pikachu and then they step on Litten's tail, which was pretty hilarious. So I'm curious how that's all going to turn out. We get to see more of Popplio, which I believe is Lana's Pokemon, and then Rowlet, which also likes to be something I guess similar to if you remember Diamond and Pearl, we had Infernape as kind of the main focus in terms of Ash's starter for Diamond and Pearl during Sinnoh, and then Torterra was one of the other starters that he had. It didn't have as much focus as Infernape. I can kind of see where like Layton will probably be one of Ash's main focus in terms of his starter, and then Rowlet will probably be one of the other ones that won't have as much focus. We'll have to wait and see. But at least for right now, I can expect it to be something like Diamond and Pearl, which I'd be absolutely okay with. Infernape was without a doubt one of Ash's strongest Pokemon, and so if you get to see something like that, I think that'll be pretty awesome. Moving along with the rest of the preview, some kind of fun moments with Popplio, the fact that he's blowing up a bubble and kind of like making Ash fall, that was pretty funny. And then moving on, really interesting is kind of focusing near the end with Team Rocket, is how they're going to be seemingly capturing both Mimikyu and Beware, which I think is pretty cool. Mimikyu, especially if you haven't seen it, they got a pretty cute song, or like it's like pretty sad the fact that he wants to be like Pikachu, and I'm curious how they're going to handle that in the anime itself. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Peace, stay hyped, and as always, best wishes.